if I had a spectator, I would spread through the cards and have them touch any card they would like. It honestly doesn't matter what the card is because it's a free choice. And in this case, let's say they chose the 7 of spades. I would let them sign it if they would like to. And now I'd ask them to lift up around half of the deck and place the card in and just push it flush with the deck so it's lost somewhere in the middle of the deck. So we can go ahead and give the cards a little bit of a mix-up just like so. So now this trick is sort of like a do as I do sort of thing. So it's sort of like a follow the leader type of game. So to start, I'd give the spectator around half of the deck just like so. And now we're going to start the sort of like follow the leader sort of game. So I'm going to lift up around half of my pile. They're going to do the same. And now I'm going to place my pile on top of theirs and theirs on top of mine, just like so. It's because we're going to follow along with each other. So now, if I had a spectator, I'd ask them to follow me and shuffle their pile as much as they would want to. And also to give the cards a quick cut, just like so. And also, their pile is going to, they're going to do the same thing to their pile. So they're going to shuffle it up. And then they can give their cards a quick cut, just like so. So now, I'd ask them to flip over their pile face up, just like so. And I'm going to be explaining what's going to happen. So we're going to be seeing which pile the card is in, and it matters because it's going to determine what's going to happen in the next part of the trick. So I'm going to go through my cards one at a time, looking for the 7 of spades, I believe it was. And we're going to be seeing which pile the card is in. So I'm going to go through my cards one at a time, looking for the 7 of spades, and actually the card is not in my pile. So that leads me to believe it's probably in their pile, and I would have them go through their cards one at a time, or just kind of spread through and look. And it's kind of interesting because I don't see the 7 of spades in either my pile or their pile, which is really odd. Well, the box has been here the entire time, and it's dark, but I could let them feel there is nothing in there. I'm honestly telling you the truth. There's nothing in there. I could let them feel there's nothing inside of the box, but I think the box can actually help us with this trick. If we leave the cards inside of there in the empty box and we close it up just like so, if I can get it just like that, can cover it up, and hopefully the cards should have straightened themselves out. Because now, if we look through the deck for the 7 of spades, hold up, what is this? Seems that a card has been turned over, but it wasn't me, it was the box. And it looks like the box found your card, the 7 of spades. And that is the trick, guys. So now for the tutorial. Alright guys, so here's the tutorial for the trick you just saw. So I really like tricks where the style of the trick is sort of like you mess up the trick, but in the end something amazing happens instead of what you were like intending on the happening. And that's what this trick is sort of about. You're going for like a do as I do sort of thing, and you're going to see which pile the spectator's card is in, and it turns out it's not even in the deck. You put it back inside of the box and snap your fingers, and the card is reversed in the middle face up, and that's just really amazing. So now I'm going to teach you guys how to do the trick. It's impromptu. All you need is a deck of cards and the card box, nothing more than those 2 items. So you start with a deck in your hands. You can spread out the cards and have them touch any card in the deck. So not to take it out, just to touch any card, because what you're going to be doing is a double lift. You're going to be pivoting out the card just like so, and you're going to gesture the cards like this. So you're going to move this hand forward and this hand back, and you're going to say, so you could have touched any card, and in this motion right here, you're going to push off the top card and pull it back to catch a pinky break, just like so. So in this motion right here, so it honestly doesn't matter what the card is, and just like that, I have my pinky break all ready to go. So now I'm going to take the card, place it right there on top of the break, and I'm going to perform a double lift. So I'm going to flip over 2 cards as one, and I'm going to show the spectators that they chose the 4 of hearts. Now, this isn't really a card force. This is more of just a double lift and a control, because what you're going to do in a second is a control. So you're going to do a double lift, and you can have them sign the card if they want to. Now you're going to flip the double back over, so you're going to flip 2 cards back over. You're going to take the top card and ask them to lift up around half of the cards, so they would actually like lift up half of the cards But I'm just going to use my thumb here because I only have one person with me, is me. So I'm going to lift up half of the deck and place the top card, which is actually an indifferent card, in the middle, and then we're going to square it up flush with the deck. And now I've just controlled their selection to the top of the deck, and that is exactly what you want to do. So now you can give the cards a riffle shuffle, just maintain that card right there on the top. You don't have to keep those many cards on top, but just the idea of keeping this card on the top, which is their selection and their assigned card, just like so. So now once you've controlled the card on top, you're going to leave it there, and you're going to give the spectator half of the deck. So you're going to give them half of the deck, and keep in mind their selection is now with them. And this is how you're going to get their selection, is through the do as I do sort of idea, where you're going to take around half of your pile and ask them to lift up around half of their pile, and you're going to switch halves. So you're going to put yours on top of theirs and theirs on top of yours, just like so. And what you've just done is basically made them give you their selection, and you have just given them random cards. So they can now shuffle the cards as much as they want. They can shuffle them face up or face down, it does not matter. And once they're shuffling, this is what you're going to do secretly. But it's not really secret because you're doing it right in front of their face. But their shuffling is misdirection for what you're doing. So now what you're going to do is you're going to be controlling their card second to last, face up, basically in this position right here. You're going to be controlling the card there in a series of moves. So you have their card on top, and what you're going to do is first you're going to start with an overhand shuffle. Usually in an overhand shuffle you take a block of cards to start shuffling, but you're going to take one card, a single card, peel it off, and then you're going to start shuffling and peeling off cards one by one, or like block by block, and basically you've just controlled their card to the bottom. So if you take a single card and then just peel off numerous amounts of cards, their card is already right here on the bottom because it was the first card that you like shuffled, and now their card is right there on the bottom. So now once their card is there on the bottom, you're going to do a pinky pull down on the bottom card, and you're going to be curling in your index finger, just like so, and you're actually going to lift up the card and rotate it 180 degrees, turning it upside down, just like so. So what this looks like, your index finger is curled. You're going to kind of open up your hand just a little bit more. Use your index finger here to kind of extend your index finger out so that you flip the card over, just like so. Flip it over, and then just place the pack right there, back on top. So now you've just flipped over the card, and now you're going to ask the spectator to give the deck a cut once they're done shuffling. So they're going to give the deck just a cut, and what you're going to do is instead of cutting half the deck down onto the table, you're actually just going to cut one single card on the table, just like so. And basically what that just did is it moved one card from the top to the bottom, and now their card is second to last face up. So now you're going to ask them to flip their pile face up, and you're going to do the same thing. So now what you're going to do is you're going to get a break under the second card. So how I like to do this is just riffle up until I get two cards, just like so, and you can kind of look to see if you're getting it, and until you see that face up card, then you stop, and you're going to place your pinky in there just like so. And now what you're going to do is sort of like a push off double lift, where I use my thumb here to push the two cards off, and I'm going to use my middle and ring finger here to kind of lever the card over and to keep these two cards squared up at the same time. So I'm using those two fingers and my thumb to keep the card squared up, and I'm extending these fingers as I move my thumb, just like so, and it keeps the cards lined up. So once I push off the two cards as one, I'm actually going to grab the cards sort of in a biddle grip, just like this, and I'm going to drop them on the table. Now, if you have sort of like an older deck, this deck is kind of old, the cards will most likely stick together on the table. They kind of separated a little bit there, but if you have an older deck that's kind of broken in, if you sort of drop the cards not from a far distance, they will for sure separate if you drop it from like 10 feet away. You need to drop it at a close distance. They'll keep squared up just like that. So you're going to have a break underneath the two cards. You're going to push it off and drop it close to the table, trying to keep it squared up as possible. And now you're just going to take single cards and drop them in the same manner just to keep consistency, just like so. And basically their card, the Four of Hearts, is already here on the bottom. And so now you're going to keep going through all of your cards, and the 4 of hearts is not going to be anywhere near this pile, nor is it going to be anywhere near the spectator's pile either. So they can double check if the card is in there, but obviously it won't be. So now once you've done that, you're going to take your pile, make sure it's squared up, and you're just going to square it up and place it on top of their pile, because the 4 of hearts is upside down there. So if you place it on top of their pile, it'll actually sandwich it in between the 2 piles. So now their card is face up in the middle of the deck. The cards are on the table, face up like this, and you're going to show the box for the first time. And the lighting is pretty bad and it's really dark, but the box is completely empty. You can have them feel inside of the box. There's honestly nothing in there. And you're going to take the deck and basically just place it inside of the box. There's no moves in this part. This part is all acting. You're going to place the cards inside of the box and close up the box just like so. And then you're going to cover the box up with your hands and snap your fingers and explain that the deck sort of straightens itself out. And you're going to spread through the cards, and there's going to be 1 face down card in the middle of the deck. And you can reveal to them that it is actually their card, the 4 of hearts, just like so. So that is the trick, guys. I really hope you guys like that trick. Sorry if my voice sounds a little bit weird. I'm getting over a cold. But hopefully you guys like this video, and stay tuned for more videos coming soon. So see you guys next time. Bye.